on the next Rick and Morty.
We need to go on a quick adventure.
You said I could go to school today.
That was before I needed something, Morty. Let's go. In and out. 20 minutes adventure.
They're on our tail!
Hey, Morty! 5 sea tunnels!
Rick and Morty, Sunday at 11:30.
I can't f***ing do this anymore!
I was not in control of that situation at all.
Only on Adult Swim.
Rick and Morty episode 6 is here. Let's break it down. So if you didn't know, this is Rest and Rick's Laxation. The clip is actually from the cold open. It's a shorter version of the Comic-Con clip that they showed off. So this is actually the longer version of that scene.
We need a vacation.
That's so great. What happens after they finish their adventures? Like after the celebration is over, it takes its toll. So I don't think of this as so much being serialized with the other episodes, but you do see this cumulative effect of stress on Rick and Morty. Like eventually they have to break. Like even Rick has to break at some point, whatever version of Rick we're looking at here. So the actual episode itself takes place on this vacation that they have to take. I'm assuming this is the entire cold open, so we're not really meant to know where they went or what happened, just that it was some crazy adventure. But that green rock that he stuffs into the box there looks an awful lot like the green rock from the Mad Max episode. But I like that they actually go to the school at the beginning of the clip, because it's been a while since we've done Morty, Jessica school stuff. He referenced Jessica in the last episode, like they were talking about their children. He said, oh, my child's gonna be beautiful because Jessica's gonna be the mother.
I'm sorry, I'm not a classic maternal archetype. Okay, I don't know what to do when you people come to me with your weird puberty issues. What are you gonna do when your daughter asks you if she's attractive?
I'll say yes!
Morty, gross!
Well, she's gonna be super hot. Her mother's gonna be Jessica. Wait, when did Summer ask you that?
I'm not expecting too much of the school stuff to be serialized, so it's just meant to be like a random day at school. Oh my god, Jessica's single. And if you re-listen to that conversation that they're having as Morty's walking up, the first time I heard foreskin, I did a double take. You have to appreciate how they're able to casually slip in awkward teenage humor like that with the really big sci-fi crazy stuff in the rest of the clip. You have a little bit of Star Wars, Return of the Jedi as they blow up the core. You have all of these little creatures that look like sperm chasing them. In the opening, in this giant organic looking ship, kind of looks like a vagina. So you have all these sperm flying into this vagina with this little egg in the middle. So their visual metaphors are still on point. I know we had that running poop gag, like every single episode has some weird poop joke. So we'll see what it winds up being in this episode, but I just love this animation sequence. They talked about the one in last week's episode, how there's a longer version of it, and you appreciate how much work goes into this. Like they spent so much time on the scripts, that's what the delays were all about. Like they said, they just took forever to write it because they kept trying to write the better version. But we've also learned the titles and descriptions of the next couple of episodes. So this is episode 6, Rest and Rick's Laxation, but episode 7 is called Tales from the Citadel. It reads, Atlantis, We're Coming. A nice little self-contained episode about Atlantis is waiting for the audience. Episode 8 is titled The ABCs of Beth, obviously a Beth episode. Jerry is lucky with a lady, and Beth recalls her childhood. Episode 9 is titled Morty's Mind Blowers, and it just reads, Morty's memory is restored. For this reason, we finally learned the truth in this episode. It doesn't say learn the truth about what the secret past is, so presumably that'll be part of the cold open, or they'll just reference it during the episode. And then episode 10, the finale, is called The Rickchurian Morty Date, and it says Rick goes on a confrontation with the president. That could either be the president of the lame government, as Rick tells it, or it could be this clip here, like where we see with Terminator Beth on the government ship. It could be the galactic government, whoever the new president is. Because they have this divorce thing that's going on. They have the Beth episode. They have Morty remembering things. Maybe that'll have something to do with the divorce as well. It would make sense that the finale capped that off too, so it'll have something to do with it. But here's the other big question too, is will Jerry reconcile with Beth by the end of the season, or will the divorce spill into season 4? They haven't said anything about whether or not they've started writing it. They just said they have a plan for it. Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland, before the season started, said that their contracts were up for renewal. So at the time, it just sounded like they're haggling for a better deal, but they already have a plan for season 4. So hopefully none of that business stuff gets in the way of them working on season 4, because the sooner they start, the sooner they can get it out to their animators, the sooner we can see it.